Good morning, app-driven guy, Brent and Tiffany. This is another installment of the Uber and Lyft Mentor series. I know I've been making a lot of these lately, and I do mean to make more Amazon Flex, more other videos that are down paths that people want to, but this is so important right now. There was some really big news that came out 2 days ago that Lyft drivers are now going to make an extra 18% over what they make with Uber. So a Lyft raise of 18% over Uber's costs, or over Uber's payout. So this is really big news, and the point of this video is to give you guys the rundown on what that means for you as far as what you should choose and how you should do your rideshare. Now this is, I'm not going to tell you what to do one way or the other, but I'm going to give you the information that you need, and you're going to be blown away by these numbers. Okay, I started taking these rides at 18% more, and I had to figure out, is it worth it for me to take Uber rides still, or should I go exclusively Lyft? So here's the rundown on the numbers, okay? This is all based on $1,000 worth of ride payments through Uber, okay? This is what it's based on. So these numbers, with Uber, if you get $1,000 in ride payments, they take 25% off, you get $750. That's with no surge, no boost pay, no guarantees. Okay, we're just talking regular Uber rates, $1,000 in ride payments, $750. That same amount of miles, and we're also doing this at a 500-mile base also. So it's $1,000 in ride payments, 500 miles is what we're just using just for this model. It's as close as I could get to being accurate, to give you guys the right information. You can call me out if any of my math is wrong, but I think it's really spot on. With Lyft, with that same $1,000 in ride payments, with the 18% bonus over Uber, you'll now make $885 on that same payment. So this is based on if your area had the 18% pay increase. The numbers may be different if it's different in your area. Okay, so $885 on that same payout that you would have got from Uber is 18% more than Uber. It equals out to where if you made that amount, you would have spent $7.50 less in gas, because you wouldn't have had to drive as many miles to make that same amount of money. And you're afforded 9 minutes of downtime per hour. Okay, so let's say that's based on if with Uber you were driving that entire 60 minutes with passengers in the car, versus Lyft, where you now have 9 minutes per hour that you could be in downtime and still make the same amount of money that you would with Uber. But even with that, Uber, you have downtime with Uber anyway, so you can have 9 minutes less, or 9 minutes more downtime with Lyft and still make the same amount of money. That's at the regular Uber versus Lyft rate. Okay, now, Power Driver Bonus Program. If you want to make a lot more money with Lyft, and you make your 10% Power Driver Bonus, that's with 45, well, let's say whatever it is in your area, it might be different, but for my area, to get your Power Driver Bonus, you have certain requirements. So 10% Power Driver Bonus, if you get that, you're looking at that same $1,000 payout, $1,000 ride payment, sorry, you're looking at $973 in earnings. Okay, so that's they take 25% off of what they owe you, then they add on 10% more. So that equals $973.50. Now, that's big. That's 30% more than what you would make with Uber working that same amount of rides, that same amount of miles, okay? The only difference is here, the bigger difference is you're now afforded 14 minutes of downtime during each hour to be able to make the same amount of money if you're getting your 10% bonus, okay? 14 minutes less. That's a quarter of an hour that you can spend not picking up riders. If it's dead between rides, you need to get to a better area to pick up a ride, you have 14 minutes to do that. Now, on that same, if that 10% payout, if you're making that same $1,000 ride payment, schedule that we're working on, and you got your 10% Power Driver Bonus, you would have spent $12.50 less on gas. Okay, that's averaging 30 miles a gallon at that 500 miles a week. So I based it off of 500 miles to make that money. You would spend $12.50 less on gas because you would be driving less miles to make the same amount of money with Lyft. Okay, now let's say you want to make the most money with Lyft and you're going to just work all week doing Lyft so you can get your 20% Power Driver Bonus. Okay, now this is huge. you will make on the same $1,000, if you get $1,000 in ride payments, they're going to take your 25%, then they're going to add 20%. So you're going to be at $1,062 with that same $1,000 in ride payments. That's 41% more than with Uber. That means with Uber, with a $1,000 ride payment, you'd have to work 40% more. You'd have to get that up to $1,400 in ride payments just to make the same amount of money you would make with Lyft if you got your power driver bonus. That's huge. That's 40%. I mean, that's like working, if you're working 40 hours a week, that's like working 16 hours of overtime. It's crazy. 18 hours, whatever it is. So, the other advantage you're going to have is you can make the same amount of money either way, but with Lyft, you're going to have you can have up to 18 minutes of downtime during each hour that you can have at your disposal to make the same amount of money. And then you're going to spend $17.50 less on gas from the miles you're saving if you're to hit those numbers. Now, that's all based on making the same amount of money. Okay, so you got to decide, is it worth it for me? Because I know the big thing is, do I go for my power driver bonus, or do I just stick with Uber and Lyft because I'm going to get more rides and more money total? But the thing is, with Lyft, you got to consider that. Am I going to spend, on average, 18 minutes less of downtime? You know, am I going to spend 18 minutes more downtime than I am with Uber? Because that's what these numbers are generating. 18% more downtime, or 18 minutes more downtime. That means all your hours averaged together, every hour is going to have 18 minutes of downtime? I don't think so. So from what I'm gathering from these numbers, it's going to pay you the most amount of money to go with Lyft and go for your power driver bonus program if you're able to do that. Now, if you're not able to do the power driver program, that kind of gets all nixed out, and you're best off just going with Lyft most of the time, but then taking Uber rides if they're at a 1.2 boost, or if they're at a surge, or if Uber is just more hopping in your city. But if you are eligible for the power driver program, it works out best in your interest to get that power driver bonus and go for it. And then I would say, if you're already going to meet your power driver bonus, then do your Uber rides only during your guarantee hours if it's going to, you know, still be okay with you getting your power driver bonus through Lyft. Then also, if you already are going to get enough power driver rides to get your bonus, and you know that, if you got it locked up, then turn on Uber every time there's a surge. But otherwise, if you just take those several Uber rides just to take them when they're hot, you might end up shooting yourself in the foot and not getting your power driver program, and then all those rides you took aren't going to add up the same way, and you're going to end up making less money per hour because you took Uber rides. So I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm just telling you what the numbers are saying. If you're going to be able to shoot for your power driver bonus and get it, then you got to do it. I mean, it's just, and if you're not, then do both, you know, and fill in your extra time, but you're going to be driving more hours per the amount of money that you're making. You're going to drive more hours and more miles with Uber. But if it's so worth it to where you're going to make that much more with Uber anyway, that it doesn't matter, and you're willing to work the extra hours just so you can make way more than you're going to make with Lyft, then you got to go that route. So I'm just throwing the information out there. It took me some time to do these numbers. I hope it's appreciated when people, you know, sit down. They're going to come up with the same numbers. I went through this a million times. Show me anywhere I'm wrong. Comment below, whatever. You know, please share this video with people that are on the fence about Uber or Lyft. And subscribe, like. Thank you.